opposing forces for and against Alberta separation.
So I got a little more work to do.
The Premier faces division in her party and province. Calgary's new mayor and council look at ways to whittle down property taxes. And flaming flyby.
What is that?
The likely cause of this spectacle in the sky.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldberg.
Good afternoon. The president of the UCP says the party has passed a threshold and more of its members want to leave Canada than remain part of it.
I would say that probably more than half of our membership actively support the idea of an independent Alberta.
The UCP annual general meeting was punctuated by boos for Danielle Smith when she talked about striking a deal with Ottawa, and cheers for staunch pro-separatists when they took the mic. Across the province, pro-separatist UCP members were voted into the leadership positions of many riding associations. And Kevin Green is at the McDougall Centre downtown. Kevin, how is Danielle Smith trying to deal with what's clearly becoming a divided party?
Alicia, this issue is so divisive that it risks splitting the UCP back into some version of what it used to be before the Wild Rose and the Progressive Conservatives merged under Jason Kenney. Smith got a standing ovation today from the Canadian Association of Energy Contractors as she spoke about that memorandum of understanding with the federal government. That's a stark contrast to the boos that poured out when she talked about it at the AGM, where the biggest applause was reserved for pro-separatist UCP members. This afternoon, the Premier maintained she isn't a separatist and her party isn't separatist. She says she supports remaining inside Canada, but, and it's a big but, while asserting Alberta sovereignty.
I've always said my job is to tell people that Canada works and show them that it works, and to get more people to understand that we can have our own sovereign areas of jurisdiction within a united Canada. So I got a little more work to do.
What does it mean, a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada? Well, political scientists I spoke to says it simply means the Premier is trying to play both sides of the fence. Premier Smith disagrees, and her press secretary told me today that this week she'll be introducing a legislation to clarify what she means, possibly as early as tomorrow.
Thanks, Kevin. The citizen-led petition against a referendum on Alberta independence has been verified and is successful. The province's chief electoral officer found the Forever Canada petition met all of the requirements. Former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk surpassed the minimum 294,000 signatures, collecting more than 450,000. He started the campaign because he thinks most Albertans do not want anything to do with separatism. The petition proposal will go to the Legislative Assembly in the coming weeks, where a committee will make recommendations on what to do next. Options include treating it as a policy proposal or a referendum. And for now, Premier Danielle Smith is facing recall petitions that have been approved against 14 MLAs, all of them members of her UCP caucus. She says there will be some changes to election legislation on Thursday, saying Justice Minister will share more details on that day. Now, the president of the Alberta Federation of Labour says that the Premier only has herself to blame for all of the recall petitions.
They're not doing this to protect Albertans. They're not doing this to protect democracy. They are doing this to protect themselves.
He says the Premier is making false accusations about him funding these petitions to justify potentially changing the Recall Act. Signatures are being collected for 14 petitions right now. Many of the people who started them point to the UCP's use of the notwithstanding clause. Calgary's expected property tax increase next year won't be as steep as previously proposed. Budget discussions are still continuing at City Hall. That's where Jordan Canagan is. Jordan, this comes after a week of budget talks.
And Alicia, it's not quite over yet either. More than 140 speakers, groups, and business units spent all of last week speaking here at City Hall. Today, though, it was the start of council actually making some of those decisions on approving or denying any type of cuts or spending. And they have already made two pretty significant amendments to bring down next year's tax increase. They voted unanimously in favor of canceling the planned tax shift from businesses to homes. homes. That brings down the tax increase that was on the table of 5.8% down to 3.6% on the residential side. Another change sees council taking $50 million of investment income that would normally go to reserves. Instead, though, it will go towards the operating budget. That one brings down next year's property tax increase to 1.6% so far.
So we can still take a very cautious approach, a very conservative approach, and tapping into that investment income to fund the needed investments. We have about $60 million worth at least that relate to public safety, and I'm going to be pushing as hard as I can to fund those needed investments around transit service, around more officers at LRT stations.
But there's still a lot more to go. We have 35 amendments that are on the table at the moment right now, some of which might come down and eventually they will get rid of them. But some of them do include some spending proposals. We won't likely see any final decisions when it comes to the budget until very late tonight or early tomorrow morning. Alicia?
Thanks, Jordan. GlobalFest is temporarily suspending operations. On its website this morning, the organization cites unprecedented financial pressures, as well as global geopolitical constraints and economic uncertainty. It says dropping attendance numbers also are factored into this decision. GlobalFest has suspended ticket sales for the next 6 weeks as it tries to secure financial support. Organizers hope to be back to full operation by mid-January with special ticket sales offers. Well, if you looked up around 5:30 last night, you likely saw a fireball streaking across the Calgary sky. Wow. Now, this video was taken during zoo lights. The Facebook group Alberta Aurora Chasers says the fireball was visible across the province, with reports coming in from Wainwright down to Pincher Creek. A local astronomy professor says that it was likely a piece of space equipment which was scheduled to burn up on re-entry around December 1st.
With the commercialization of space, we see more strange features in the sky related to launches and, of course, to basically materials that come down. This was controlled and expected if it was this piece of space debris.
Now, if you missed last night's excitement in the sky, you won't have to wait too long for some more. The Geminid meteor shower is expected to peak around December 13th. And I actually did see that fireball last night.
Isn't that exciting?
So it was very cool. Last night was quite cold, and it's warmed up a lot today. Yeah. But we are still expecting it to feel quite wintry tomorrow.
Yeah, especially looking quite wintry. Some snowflakes fallen for tomorrow. It'll still be fairly mild, but there will be a cold wind out of the north. It won't feel quite as warm as what we had today, because today came with sunshine and we were around 4 degrees for a daytime high. Look at that, we just bounced to 3 degrees. So it's mild out there, absolutely. A lot of melting going on. Don't wear your best shoes. Wear shoes that have some grip for sure. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Family owned, community driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. When you look at those next 24 hours, it's still mild for the evening hours. So if you have to walk the dog, not a big deal. By tomorrow morning, -2 will feel more like -7 with the wind chill. Again, we are looking at winds gusting out of the north, especially in the afternoon, up to 40 kilometers per hour. And this is combined with some snowfall on and off throughout the day. We could pick up 1 to 3 centimeters. More details coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. A Calgary man has been convicted of terrorism charges after traveling overseas to fight for ISIS. And firefighters are known for coming to the rescue, but not like this. A Calgary Fire Department member helped foil a carjacking. Smoke filled the air this afternoon in the northwest community of Panorama Hills. A house caught on fire in Panamount Heights. The flames spread to the neighboring home before firefighters could bring it under control. No word yet on the cause. A Calgary man has been found guilty of participating in terrorist activities overseas. A judge ruled late this afternoon that Jamal Borhat traveled to Syria in 2013 to 2014 to fight with ISIS. Justice Carino Dario says Borhat took part in training, acts of violence, and leadership duties with a goal to rid Syria of any non-Muslim believers. One expert says these cases reflect Canada's struggle to deal with foreign fighter recruitment and radicalization. According to the RCMP, the number of terrorism-related charges in Canada jumped nearly 500% in 2024.
No, Canada has not been doing its fair share. Among the Five Eyes, Canada, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, we're known as the intelligence partnership. We're known as the lazy eye. We don't have the numbers of officers required to do the job properly. We don't have the resources, and frankly, we don't have the foreign presence.
In 2022, Borhat's co-accused and cousin, Hussein Borhat, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Sentencing arguments will take place at a later date. The Calgary Fire Department is being credited with stopping a carjacking suspect. The carjacking happened around 5:30 last night near Walden Mews Southeast. A grandfather with his grandchild managed to get out of the vehicle before the masked man drove away. Minutes later, witnesses reported a vehicle hitting a power pole. The fire department showed up at the scene and boxed in the vehicle after the driver rammed the fire truck. The 23-year-old suspect is facing a number of charges, including impaired operation of a motor vehicle. Okay, Danielle, you said it's going to look wintry tomorrow with a little bit of snow. How much are we expecting tomorrow?
So for Calgary, down Highway 2, we're really looking at 1 to 3 centimeters. So it won't be an all-day thing, but we certainly are looking at snowfall on and off throughout the day, picking up at least a couple centimeters. Look at this cool shot here. It looks beautiful out there today, especially looking down towards the city. We have some cloud cover. It's quiet. The winds in Calgary are quiet, and the temperatures are very mild. We're just above the freezing mark, so it's actually a really nice evening. Gustier, as you can see, to the south. So this is a look at the maximum wind gusts. So close to 80 in Pincher Creek today, 70 in Lethbridge, and 37 in Medicine Hat. This is why when they had sustained wind speeds around 30 kilometers per hour, gusting higher than that, as you can see, that's why we've had wind chill, because we're just below freezing in Pincher Creek, for example, but it feels more like -11 with that wind chill because it is so windy. And in Medicine Hat feels more like -7. In Calgary, we're not dealing with wind chill. 1, because it's not windy. 2, because we're not below the freezing mark. So it's not calculated unless you're below freezing. All right, here's a look at radar and satellite. And we've had wave number 1 move through mainly for the south. And we've picked up a little bit of snowfall there, but also with the winds, a lot of drifting snow and blowing snow. Wave number 2 comes tomorrow, and Calgary is included in this wave. So I'm going to advance this to tomorrow morning around 6:30, and you can see it starting to creep into the city. So likely we'll see some flurries, light snow through the morning hours as well. We'll pick up later in the morning, as you can see here. This is a look at 11 o'clock. And then it will be on and off throughout the day. It won't be all day, but we are looking at enough that we're going to get a couple centimeters at least from this in the city. And then even through the evening hours, you may see a couple snowflakes as well before it's all said and done. And then this clears out completely for Wednesday, and then we have another wave back for Friday. Friday may be a little more significant. We'll talk about that in just a moment. This is just tomorrow. Tomorrow, a couple centimeters possible. Really, it's going to be concentrated. Airdrie, Calgary, down Highway 2 into the Lethbridge area, where we're looking at picking up anywhere from 1 to 3 centimeters of snow for the most part. And then we may even see a little more towards the Milk River area. All right, longer range forecast showing you this. 1 degree for tomorrow. Again, that on and off snow throughout the day, but also because we're getting to +1, we may even switch over to some rainfall as well, and it will be a big slushy, slippery mess out there. So careful out there on the sidewalks and the roads, of course. Then we're clear for Wednesday, as I showed you, getting up to 2 degrees, and then we're bumping up to 4. So very mild temperatures from now through Thursday. And then we take a dip. So basically by Thursday night, another system rolls in. This will pull in some much cooler air from the north. It also could bring us a bit of a significant snowfall. So by Friday, 3 to 5 centimeters with a daytime high of -6 expected.
Alberta Health Services is warning about measles exposure at the Calgary airport. A person on board a KLM flight on November 22nd was flying while infectious. The flight arrived in Calgary at 1:30 that afternoon. Exposure locations include international arrivals, customs, and baggage claim. The infectious person also went to the Claresholm Hospital on November 24th. Anyone who develops symptoms should call the measles hotline before going to any healthcare facility. The First Street Market Food Hall has been temporarily shut down by Alberta Health Services. The market explains on its Instagram page that it was shut down after an AHS inspection on Friday revealed a pest infestation. It will remain closed until it can be brought up to standards of safety and cleanliness. The downtown market houses 9 locally owned restaurants, all of which have ceased operations while the hall is shut down. Some kids at the Alberta Children's Hospital got a special surprise ahead of Christmas.
I'm here to wish them a Merry Christmas, and I wish them the best, but it's always the children that dictate what we talk about.
Well, that's Santa Claus after trading in his sleigh for a ride from Stars Air Ambulance to deliver gifts to kids. It's part of a partnership between the hospital, Stars, and TC Energy. But don't worry, Santa's reindeer enjoyed the day at a ranch west of the city, and his sleigh was just undergoing some final preparations ahead of Christmas. Well, the fast food industry is preparing for a shakeup. The businesses will likely be affected by new weight loss drugs impacting appetites. Artificial intelligence continues to rise, and new medications are taking a bite out of the food industry. Joining me is Liana Washniak, investment advisor with the Popowich-Carmeli Advisory Group. So, Liana, weight loss drugs could be set to disrupt the fast food industry.
That's right. This is an interesting stat that came out today. About 1.4 million Canadians use some sort of weight loss drug like Ozempic and Wegovy, who advertise quite a fair bit. The interesting part about that is that number is predicted to grow, actually triple, by the year 2030. Now, that means that those Canadians using it would have less hunger, they would eat smaller portions, and be craving healthier food. The interesting part about that, then, is that that does impact companies that are in things like the fast food industry. In particular, companies like McDonald's stand to see a potential reduction in their overall customer base. The knock-on effect of that is that we may see a lot of these fast food companies move to offer either smaller portions or healthier menus alongside your regular burger and fries.
Interesting side effect. And NVIDIA buys into another company in the AI space.
That's right. Now, NVIDIA has been buying up various areas across the AI space. They really want to be a major player across the entire supply chain. So they've spent about $100 billion with OpenAI already. They've spent about $5 billion with Intel, which is a rival chip maker. Now they've actually purchased into a company that actually develops software for designing the semiconductor chips that go into their own products. So this was a $2 billion transaction that they announced today, and it just gives them a little bit more influence further across that AI and semiconductor space.
Thanks, Liana.
Thank you.
BC's Premier has had a change of heart over his objection to an Alberta pipeline going through his province, but with a caveat. The federal tanker ban off of BC's north coast must remain in place. Premier Danielle Smith says she's open to working with BC on a proposed route that benefits both provinces and First Nations. Smith's preferred route is through the north to the port of Prince Rupert, but there is discussion about another pipeline to Vancouver. Smith spoke to Canada's energy industry at a luncheon today about where the sector is headed.
I'm sensitive to the fact that that we don't want to see the entire coast of British Columbia that has extensive port infrastructure. I understand that, but we do have some existing ports that we can build on, and I'm hopeful that we'll have a constructive conversation about it.
Alberta has until July 1st to submit its pipeline application to the Federal Major Projects Office. Alberta separatists claim they are now the majority in the UCP. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Alicia. The president of the United Conservative Party says more of its members want to leave Canada than remain a part of it. Coming up at 6, why one political scientist says this is a pivotal moment for the party and for the province's future. Also ahead, a fireball lights up the sky across Alberta. Coming up, we'll hear from some locals who spotted it last night. Alicia.
The province is changing the way complaints are handled against police officers in Alberta. A new police review commission is now in charge.
For far too long, the perception of the public was that police were investigating police. And because of that, there was a level of distrust. It's now time for change.
The Police Review Commission is an independent arm's-length civilian body. It will handle complaints in 3 main categories: death or serious injury, allegations of criminal offenses, and non-criminal misconduct complaints. As part of its mandate, the PRC must complete investigations within 180 days. If an extension is required, the reasons why will be made public. Ellis says the new commission will provide transparency, improve accountability, and strengthen public trust in policing. Alberta's current police watchdog, ACERT, will now operate under the PRC. And the Premier says new legislation about guns is coming tomorrow. At this weekend's AGM, Danielle Smith said the province plans to instruct all provincial entities, including police agencies, to refuse to enforce or prosecute under the federal gun seizure program. Alberta's Minister of Public Safety says while the province cannot direct what law enforcement does, it can set priorities. Well, it warmed up a lot today. Got quite sloppy out there. Right now in Calgary, it's partly cloudy and 2 degrees. Danielle will be back with the details after the break. Danielle, many people like the warm-up just because, you know, we're not used to the cold yet, but it's not good for the shoes. Like you said, don't wear your favorite shoes unless your favorite shoes happen to be waterproof, of course.
If they're waterproof, fantastic, because it's going to be a sloppy mess out there all week, especially as we get through the next 3 days, because we'll be warm and above freezing during the day and then below freezing. So also a lot of icy spots as things freeze over overnight and early in the morning. 2 degrees is the current temperature. 4 was actually our daytime highs. It was very mild out there. Tomorrow is mild, but it will be combined with cooler wind out of the north, plus 1 to 3 centimeters of snow on and off throughout the day.
Thanks, Danielle. Students at Alberta University of the Arts have set up a student-led gallery in a unique location. A special area has been set up for them at Golden Acre Garden Centre. It can be hard for students to get their art in front of the public, so this project helps that happen. The first group is 3 students working in paper and textiles. Golden Acre says it wanted to give back to the community and enhance the shopping experience for their customers.
Well, what we're really looking to do is, give some support to the community, and now more than ever, we need some art and beauty and creativity in the world. So, we want to help with that, and we want to give students a chance.
New artists will be featured every other month. You can also check it out on goldenacre.ca. And thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.